How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with another review. A little bit of crowler time, a little bit of unknown beer time, because I don't know what this beer is, other than it is a beer from Dardevil Brewing, and I believe it's called NEX Cubed. No, it's not cubed. 3, the third power. Let's put it that way. Cube. It's 4, right? Anyway, yes, Dardevil Brewing. Never had anything from this brewery. I believe I heard of them before, but I've never had anything from these guys. But I'm lucky enough to have friends. My buddy Joel, you would know Joel if you watch all my reviews. We did a couple of reviews about a month or so ago at the time of this filming. And he was on a trip, and he was in Indianapolis, where these guys are from, and or Indiana. And just outside Indianapolis, I believe, is where these guys are located. He picked it up, said, "Hey man, do you want this?" And I said, "Fuck yeah, motherfucker." So yeah, here we go. No idea what's in here. I'm assuming it's a hop forward beer, because that's what Joel likes. So anyway, it says aggressively fun, Dardevil Brewing Company. Brewing eclectic, aggressively fun beers is not for the timid. Fortunately, the only thing we like better than a challenge is drinking the end result. NEX, N-E-X, to the third power. And it's 8.7% by volume. It's a can, it's Crowler, no, it's Crowler. And blah, blah, blah. Aggressively fun, that'd be that. Label-wise, it's kind of cool. I mean, it is a Crowler, but I like the logo, the D for the Daredevil, but it looks like kind of like a motorcycle helmet. Kind of like, you know, your fucking Evil Knievel shit. So, yeah, here we go. Now you guys get to watch me pour a Crowler. Spill it everywhere. So, let's see. Oh, yeah, there it is. It gets spilled everywhere. Drips and drabs of beer, and that's what happens. I have this little light set up down here. You guys can't really see it. It just kind of illuminates the beer a little bit. And I cover these with kind of like little, kind of just paper towels, really, to kind of wash out the lighting a little bit. And every time I get a crowd, I'm like, fuck, I have to replace all that shit, because it's going to get beer everywhere. Such is the price I pay to bring these things to you guys. I mean, I'm spilling stuff. How horrible is that? Anyway, 2 fingers, infinite creaminess. If you could actually see into this thing, which is a deep beveling head, that is what dreams are made of. You know, standard and kind of neurotic bubbling throughout. And she's got a super subtle kind of haziness to her. Nothing too crazy. A little bit of soft carbonation, but very kind of New England style IPAs. Before the haze came around, people were like, that's not a New England IPA. It has to have the oats and the haze in it. You know, if you're telling me Heady and Sip and all those beers are New England IPAs, you're fucking retarded, dumb with a capital B. That's what this looks like. Kind of one of those old school, new school, old school kind of New England style IPAs. Fruit juicy, let's put it that way. A little sticky. Beers like that though. See if we can get a nose on her. And it smells like that too. It's very fruity. It's very candied, subtly candied kind of fruitiness, and it's across the board. I think it's leaning with a bit of kind of candied peaches with a little bit of candied citrus, maybe about tied for that. If you're getting a little bit of tropical fruits, maybe more specifically kind of sweeter, not like a kiwi kind of thing, but all kind of subtly candied across the board. Nothing too crazy. Not really getting much as far as bitter in there. It's all about the sweetness, and it's a fruit sweetness, and that is not necessarily a bad thing, unless it's too sweet. I don't think it's going to be too sweet, because that sweetness isn't just punching me in the face. So she looks the part, she smells the part. See what she tastes like. Cheers. Way sweeter than I thought it would be based off the nose. It's not super sweet at all. There is a sweetness there, and it's sweeter than bitter, but it's not as gigantic as I thought it would be. The only bummer is the bittering. Even though I didn't get much on the nose, I was kind of hoping for a little bit more. It's as small, equally as small as the sweetness. So bittering is very, very, very small in this. Very, very tiny. You do get a bit of bittering, a kind of little bit of kind of westy, kind of old school, slightly piney, kind of old school West Coast kind of bittering. So she comes off with that touch of west, but just leaning more east, but it's very subtle. Mouthfeel is nice. It's not the thinnest beer in the history of mankind, but it's not the thickest ever. But I'm not going to sit here and complain about the mouthfeel. Let's put it that way. And she's nice. Carbonation's on point, especially from being in a growler that had a bit of travel behind it. Tasty stuff, to be perfectly honest with you. But it does remind me of those kind of old school New England style beers. Your sips, your headies, just a little bit less sweet, a little bit less bittering. Makes you want to think it's coming off a little bit kind of south body-wise than where you'd want it to be. But I just think, I don't think it's a travel thing. I don't think it's a heat thing. I just think this is how this beer comes off. And it's tasty. The biggest issue I have with it is that it comes in at 8.7% alcohol. So it's a 9% beer, and it's drinking like it's like 5%. And these beers that are a bit more kind of old school, new school, old school. I want them to be a little bit smaller ABV because I'd like to drink this. This could be something I can actually drink over the course of the night, but at 9% alcohol by volume. So the biggest thing I'm going to kind of beat it up for is its ABV. It should be delivering this at a lower ABV, but it's a good beer nonetheless. Tasty stuff. But at the same time, nothing I'd like freak the fuck out over. Let's put it that way. So let's talk about it. So one of the better double IPAs, because 8.7. Double IPAs, and that's what it is. Like I said, I had no idea going into it, but it's double IPA. I should say that. Don't think it's dry hop, just plain straight up double IPA. Is it one of the better ones I've had as of late? No. I do like my Nisku New England style. You know what I mean? I like it. I enjoy it. It's tasty. Never would push it away. Super glad I got to try it. But for me and the way my personal taste go, if that's what you're looking for, the New England style stuff, well, tasty, it's not going to really fit that bill. It's going to be more of your Midwest kind of IPA or your kind of old school New England style IPAs before the haze grays. Value and availability, no idea. Brewery only, I assume. No idea what he paid for it. And just say, if you like what, will you like this? If you like those beers that I pretty much have been banging on throughout the whole review, your sips, your headies, your kind of middle of the country stuff. You know what I mean? Your kind of spacing. Your Chicago breweries, your half acres, your breweries like that tend to brew these more kind of somewhere in the middle of the road, Midwest kind of sweeter IPAs that aren't as hazy. If that's your jam, then this will definitely be up your alley. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't, anywhere in between, down there, words and stuff. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped, Massive Beers, all four of those places if you want to check me out anywhere else. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice Dardevil beer right now. And hope to see you next time. Cheers.